Hello everybody, this is Reboot back again, and today we'll be looking at Digimon Reboot Omegamon. This is a model kit that I purchased a few weeks ago, or two or 3 weeks ago, and I already unboxed it and everything. If you want to take a look at that, I have them in my channel. And it's finally time to look at this figure because I've been working on it, and I actually finished it, but I just didn't have the time to film the review. So we'll open this up and we'll take a look at the figure inside. And here is Omegamon out of the packaging, or build I should say. And I've got to say, for my first model kit, this was a pretty interesting build. Everything, it wasn't hard, but it certainly wasn't easy, probably because it was my first time, like I said. But the instructions were pretty clear, even though it was all in Japanese. But it had very detailed pictures to show where everything went, and I was able to get it. If I was able to get it, I'm sure everyone else can. But anyways, just looking at this figure, it's awesome. It's made to look like as if it was a Gundam, from what I've read. So I think it pulled off that look. And then the build, like I said, was pretty decent. There's only a few things I would have done different, like it's not perfect, I should say. There are some bits, like especially on his horn right there, you can see there's some sprue left on there that I didn't shave off, but yeah. And there's also a piece right here that falls off really easily, probably because I shaved it off too much, but that's nothing a little super glue can't fix. And during the review, if it falls off, it'll fall off. I mean, I'm not gonna pick it up. But yeah, it looks awesome. Just do a 360 turn here. Should buy a Lazy Susan, but I'm lazy. And these wings are just magnificent. They look just awesome. They look like Gundam wings, so. And I thought the stickers and decals were going to be a problem, but they've held on so far, and I have been messing with this figure, so I gotta say that's pretty good. But it's awesome. Now, it took me a total of, I'd say, a day. Not a day. Well, probably like 10 hours divided into 3 days, I would say. But he does come with accessories. He comes with his Garuru cannon, or Supreme cannon, if that's how you want to say it. And again, it's not perfect. There's some sprues there that pieces of sprue that I didn't shave off. And I probably will in the future. And he comes with the Transcendent Sword. Again, this is, you have to build it, and it came with a decal so that you can make it look all shiny and cool. But this just looks so cool. And of course, inside of his mouth, you can take there's a piece in there that you have to pull off. Let's see if I could do this. You pull this piece off, and then you can put in his cannon. It's kind of hard to do. Oh, there you go. And then just snap that close, and he can hold his cannon. Another thing is his horns don't stay perfectly aligned because they're also loose, so I've had to fix that too. And of course, where would he be without his sword? You open this up, and you just tab the sword into his mouth, like so. You just close that up. And there he is, fully equipped. And that just looks so cool. The sword is chrome. It just looks awesome. And of course, he has a little jewel in the middle here that is also chromed. And his shoulder pad is also chrome as well. I gotta say, it does feel a little flimsy, but that's probably because that's why it was so cheap. I paid like about $40 for it, which I think is a lot for a model kit nowadays, but I'm not sure. And let's just take a close-up of his face here, not his crotch. But you can see there are some seams that could be put in more better, and the sticker's not completely, how would I say, it's not completely centered. But it turned out as good as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, just look at that. That's so cool. Anyways, let's move on to articulation. Now, he is very articulated, but again, like I said, the plastic kind of feels flimsy, so I would be very careful. Now, his wings are actually movable, and you can take them off if you want, but then that would mean you'd have to go through a whole series of unpegging, and just, I wouldn't do it. And we'll go with his head. His head is on a ball joint. It can go up and down. Can pivot side to side, actually, pretty good. But his helmet kind of gets in the way. So, and like I said, it can go up that much. It can go down. It's pretty articulated, actually. His arms, his shoulder pads actually have articulation, and there goes his little spike. It just falls off, so I'm gonna leave that off. His shoulder pads can move forwards and backwards, as can this one. They're both on ball joints, but you got to be careful because they pop off pretty easily too. His arms can go in and out, forwards, backwards. He's got a bending at he can bend right here, and he can also rotate as well. So a pretty decent range of motion there. And his head or his arm or his hand can also rotate as well as the mouth, and the mouth can open up as well. And he's got kind of like a butterfly joint as well here. But again, you got to be very careful because it does feel very fragile. He's got a waist movement here, and he's got, I'm not sure if it's an ab crunch. Oh yeah, it is an ab crunch, so he can crunch a little bit forwards and back on that little joint there. And his legs can go forwards this much, pretty decent. It can move back a pretty decent amount, but the wings get in the way. And there is a joint right here that allows him to move his thigh as well. And he has double jointed knees. Very cool. And his legs, his feet can go forwards, backwards, and they are pivoted, so he can do the ankle tilt. And besides the ankle tilt, he can also tilt his he can bend his toes as well. Although I'm not really, well, I guess that would look pretty cool as well. Oh, and this part of the toe, there's two ranges of motion here. The toe right here itself, and then his nails can bend as well. So that's very good range of motion there. Here is Omegamon compared to his SH Figuarts counterpart, and as you can see, there's good things about both, but there's also bad things about both. This one is more stable, it's more sturdy, but the articulation is not as good as this one, and it looks more plain. This one just looks so much cooler and stylized, and I love it compared to the SH Figuarts one, I think. which is sad because I paid about $80 for this one as opposed to the 40 for that. And I think this one's actually going more online now. I think it's going for 100 plus. But it does come with more accessories, a cloth cape, and which I honestly cannot stand because you have to put it on these little joints, and it's very hard to pose, and it gets really dusty. Whereas this one is just plastic and it'll stay wherever you want it to. But like I said, the build is better, and it does come with tie and mat. So, and the paint and everything is just so much better, obviously. But because I could have done better with this, but it's my first time. So yeah. And just for the hell of it, here he is compared to a deluxe class figure. That's Rat Trap from the Generations line. And as you can see, both Omegamons are taller than him. I guess I would say they're Voyager class size, which is a pretty decent size. Overall, I have to say I'm very impressed with this model kit. It may have just inspired me to buy some more model kits in the future, hopefully. Just because it looks so cool. There's so much detail in the actual mold. The colors are cool. The paint, there's not much paint, but the decals are pretty easy to put on. The build was not so hard that I wanted to give up. And yeah, overall, just a really, really good figure. I would definitely say pick this one up. And the only one I'm missing now is the D-Arts one, which is very expensive. I probably won't be getting that. But there is also another one, a dark version, I think, called the blood version or something. I don't know, but it's gonna be black and gold, which I might get as well. Anyways, that's the end of this review. I hope I've inspired people to start building models. Probably not, but anyways. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. You know what? I'm taking off a few points, because look, everywhere in the box there shows a stand. Everywhere. And when I opened that thing, there was no stand. What the hell am I going to do without a stand? I can't pose this.